Hey guys, Coach Katie here, and I am so excited for these new meal prep recipes and for the new meal planning. And I am doing this training on 38-minute meal prep. Like, how do I do this the faster way versus just looking at recipes and making them individually? I meal prep in bulk for an entire week, and the fastest that I've ever done it is in 37 minutes. So, this is titled Meal Prep in Under 38 Minutes, and we'll see how fast it takes me today. It is 3:25 right now, and I am meal prepping off of the recipe pack, Hormone Health. And that is the 4-week recipe pack I designed so that if you have things going on with hormones, you think that you might have slow metabolism or imbalanced hormones, you get headaches often, you get cranky often, you have mood swings, you have inability to lose weight, you have belly fat that you can't get rid of, you're exhausted all the time, you need coffee at 2 p.m. every day to keep going, or you have insomnia overnight. The Hormone Health recipe pack meal planning set is exactly for you. So I am meal prepping off of week 1 right now. I'm doing this training for you. Normally, if I wasn't talking to the camera while meal prepping, things go way faster. So just give me some grace with being able to train you throughout this as well, and just what I do to make this faster. And will it take you 38 minutes the first time? Probably not. It's going to take a little bit longer, but as long as you keep at it and every week you learn something new, you get faster at something, and meal prepping becomes so much easier. And then you don't have to do a single dish for the entire week, and you have food ready to go in the fridge every single day. Part of your weight loss journey, actually say probably 98% part of your weight loss journey, is pre-planning what you need to do every week. 2% is actually doing it. You can all day, every day, go eat healthy if you really put your mind to it. But planning, how are you going to eat healthy? What are you going to eat? What days do you need to take food with you in a lunchbox or a cooler outside of the house? And what days you have to eat at home, or all the different things. Pre-planning your week is 98% of your journey. 2% is actually doing it. So I'm going to show you my grocery haul from the week for the week 1 meal prep pack for the Hormone Health. You got pickles in the corner over there. Hi, pickles. But we've got, I always get egg whites, by the way, also. But we've got eggs, salmon, ground beef, and chicken breast down there. I've also got turkey breast for sandwiches. If you look at meal prep week 1 for Hormone Health, it definitely calls for, I think, ground chicken, I think it is. And to be honest, what I do and I prefer when I'm meal prepping is just pick 3 recipes that I'm going to make in bulk for the full week. So I think that there might be 5 in week 1 in most of the weeks. I just picked 3, and I'm going to actually eat those for leftovers. Even though there are leftovers planned for that week, I am going to eat more leftovers of just 3 main meals. So I'm making the beef and broccoli, I'm making the salmon dish, and then I'm making the lentil easy weeknight pasta, wherever my lentils are. Yep. I'm gonna make the weeknight pasta, but I'm gonna put chicken on it. Then I'm bulk prepping chicken just to have extra protein for the week. So if I wanted to look at all 3 of these recipes, there's a lot going on in each of them. You can make each of them individually, or you can go faster and make all the protein first, then make all the carbs at the same time, as well as whatever you need to do with veggies. So that's all my protein. We're going to bulk prep all the protein separately, and we're going to kick off with that. Then when I lay out my meal prep, I go fruits and veggies are next. So you can see all this. Bagged salads. This is clutch. Bagged salads. You get a full tour of my whole house, everyone. There you go. Bagged salads are clutch for veggies because you can chop, saute everything with veggies all day, every day, but bagged salad, these are already done for you. They're a little bit more expensive, but way easier and way less time consuming. Then I am not dairy-free personally, so I do cheese, cream cheese, regular cheese, vanilla almond milk for my creamy every night. I make a creamy. That's what this cheesecake Jello is for as well. I'm just laying out everything that I bulk shopped for today. I make a creamy protein dessert with Arbonne essential meal protein powder plus almond milk, vanilla flavored, plus usually like cheesecake Jello or something lemon flavored always. More carbs. We live off of these in our family. These are a really great source of carbs. If you haven't watched the Jumpstart, the Metabolic Highway Jumpstart Method training, put the word Jumpstart on any one of my Instagram posts and you'll get that information. I talk about how carbs are the vehicle to get protein to the bloodstream so that you can burn fat faster. If you're not eating carbs, you're doing your body a disservice. You will not build the lean muscle that you want because your protein won't be able to get where it needs to go. All that hard work in the gym, even eating protein, is all going to be for nothing if you're not fueling your body with energy coming from carbs. So real change happens when you start eating enough protein and enough carbs. And these are awesome source of carbs. Brownie mix for my creamy every night. Let's see. And then sweet potatoes, lentils, and some I do bread. I don't know, things like that. Okay. So first things first, we've got 3 dishes that we want to make. And we need to start with the protein for each of them. So I have the oven preheating already for my salmon. I actually think it's already done. I am going to get first my ground beef on the stove. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with protein, and then you don't need to sit here and watch me do it. Let's clock the time actually at 3:31 now that I'm actually done talking. I'm going to put ground beef on the stove. For those of you that don't cook or scared of cooking, that used to be me. If I'd watched this video and someone didn't even tell me how to put ground beef on the stove, I would have been like, huh? So I'm going to take the ground beef out of this package. I'm going to put it on a pan, a big pan that can hold all of this. And then I don't even need to put oil in the pan or anything. This already has some fat in it. So that fat is what's going to help it cook. That's going to be going on the stove or medium heat on the stove. And I'm going to continue just chopping it up with this thing. This is, I don't know, look on Amazon for a meat chopper. Because there is one of these from another company, but I can't think of the name. Amazon meat chopper. I did get one on there. I'm going to put the salmon in the oven. If you look at week 1 meal prep recipe pack, it has you marinating the salmon in a Dijon mustard thingy. I actually had this in the fridge, sugar-free honey mustard dipping sauce. I'm going to marinate the salmon in this, see what happens. A lot of my time in the kitchen is done experimentally. I do not follow recipes. I'm doing my best job possible to follow the recipes from the Hormone Health Week 1 for you so that I'm not totally straying. But I will tell you, meal prepping, to get it to go faster, I take out ingredients or I just use what's in my brain that sounds like it might make sense. That was not me 8 years ago. I was scared of the kitchen. I didn't know how to cook. And once I started meal prepping and needing it to go faster, I just started cutting corners in a good way. And I stopped I didn't buy every single thing on the recipe list for the first week. I just, whatever sounded good to go with everything sounds good. I kind of stuck to the basics, and I did that for you guys just to make it make sense for the point of this video. But for instance, there were 3 ingredients that I need to mix together for the salmon, something or other, but I don't have time to do that. So I did sugar-free G. Hughes honey mustard dipping sauce, and we're going to put that on the salmon. And then the chicken, I'm going to grill it. I'm pretty sure that the recipe called for me to not do that, and that the chicken is meant to be with a specific recipe or something. But I personally, when I meal prep every week, like to have just a big thing of chicken that has been grilled 3 to 5 minutes per side, medium heat, throw that in the fridge, and then we can chop it and eat it as we go when we want to pull it out of the fridge. So I am, like I said, doing my best to follow these recipes, but in order to make it go fast for me, I have to do it in a 38 under minute time frame. Okay, I'm going to pause, get the protein started, and then I'll come back. All right, guys, I am back, and we are 10 minutes in. All of my protein, am I filming? Okay. 1 second. All of my protein is cooking away. So in the first 10 minutes, I need to have in my mind, in order to get done in under 38 minutes, all the protein done in the first 10 minutes, at least on the grill, in the oven, on the stove, wherever it needs to be. If you want to know what I'm making, it is an Energy Fizz plus greens. You need daily greens wherever you're getting them from every single day, especially during cold and flu season. You are such a high likelihood of getting sick if you're not doing daily greens. This is loud. There are a ton of greens on the market. This one from Arbonne is the only one that has all the antioxidants that you need to stay healthy over the season, as well as all the other vitamins and minerals that are inside it. And to be honest, I don't have them off the top of my head. But if you've watched any of my stories on Instagram, you've probably seen me talking about it. Greens are so important. I don't care where you're taking them from, but if you need a dealer, you can talk to me about it. Just DM me. And greens from Arbonne. This dog's so loud. One second, it's not my dog. Fizz part is the energy part, natural energy. Some of these have caffeine, some don't. And I was walking through Target today, and all the end caps that had all the Celsius on them. Have you heard how bad Celsius is for you? You definitely should cut it out. And I've never heard of anybody's latte saving them from cold and flu season. So you're going to look at a bulk price of something like Greens and Fizz put together. You're going to be like, wow, that's expensive. But if you were really to add up all of your Starbucks energy drinks or all of your Celsius or whatever you're doing for energy, all of that, and you add it up, or then you add up the cost of being out of work or the cost of being sick while you're trying to parent your children, which is your time. Time is worth money. I think that if you divide it out over 30 days, it makes way more sense when it's in the $3 per range day of how do I get energized every day for just $3 that's not Starbucks, and how do I stay healthy as well. So I just wanted to add that in, making this while I meal prep. But the key to meal prepping, I have found, is doing things in threes. So 3 proteins. We put chicken on the grill, which I have to pause and go flip it in a minute. I have salmon in the oven with the marinade on top plus the carrots. And then I have ground beef on the stove. So 3 proteins. Once all 3 proteins are going, then you do your carbs. I've got in the Instapot rice, jasmine rice. I think that the recipe pack actually called for brown rice, but I personally prefer jasmine rice, so I made that instead. I have water boiling for my lentils, which is part of the recipe pack as well. And then I also have sweet potatoes that I am about to toss in the oven. So again, for those of us that don't love to cook, don't know how, like 3 flies in my house right now. Sweet potatoes in bulk, just toss them on there. Don't even skin them, don't peel them, all the things. I just sprayed olive oil spray. I sprayed this on them. And then you can get these on Amazon. Let's go. Sorry, I'm just finding the one I want to use. Popcorn seasoning. Tiny popcorn seasoning on Amazon. I don't know. Type in tiny popcorn seasoning. I'm going white cheddar. I'm doing white cheddar sweet potatoes. I do not know what the recipe pack called for. I'm so sorry I'm going off script. This just sounds really good to me. And then I was out of Kinder's The Blend. It is just salt, pepper, and garlic. This is my favorite basic seasoning. It goes on so much in my house. I will also tell you what goes on so much in my house is everything but the bagel seasoning. So again, off script, because I'm pretty sure that my chicken did not call for everything but the bagel seasoning on that recipe pack. However, I love it. So I put everything but the bagel seasoning on my chicken, which I have to go flip 1 second. So while the chicken needed to be flipped, my timer for the salmon went off, and that's done, and it looks so good. And my G. Hughes sauce idea was clutch. So I just put the carrots back in the oven because that meal plan does call for the carrots to go back in. So they're going in for another 15 minutes, which, by the way, carrots are a carb. The sweet potatoes are in the oven. My pasta is about to go on the stove. My rice is in the pressure cooker. My ground beef recipe. So the beef and broccoli. I am going to go off script and teach you my favorite Asian dish ever. That's so simple. And it's pretty similar to the one that's actually in the meal plan. I'm just going to make it just a little bit easier for you. If you wanted to go off script, you don't have to. Some of us just to a T like to follow recipes and go for it. This is just how I'm making everything go faster. So I hardly chop veggies, right? Like I use salad bags, whatever. But I have cabbage left over from a field trip to a farm. And I'm going to put cabbage in with the broccoli and red peppers and orange peppers. I actually think that beef and broccoli recipe called for cabbage. So that was perfect that I had some left over. So I'm going to pause this again. I'm going to chop up my broccoli. I'm going to chop up the cabbage. I'm going to pull the ground beef out of the pan. So it's in that far pan over there, that one. I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to spray the bottom of the pan with this again because we do need something to cook this in. I think those recipes all call for like ghee and like, I don't know, coconut oil, all the things. I just use this. I'm going to chop this up. I'm going to put the cabbage in there. I'm first going to put garlic and onion in there. Let those cook for just a few minutes. Then put in broccoli, then the cabbage. Chop up the peppers. This is the only veggie thing that I'm actually going to chop up today. And then come back, I think, is what I'm doing. Okay. I am 40 minutes in, and I want to show you where I'm at because I'm basically done. I just, not going to lie, I got distracted watching the Broncos game. My dog was trying to play ball with me, all the things. So we did protein. My mind. We did protein. We got all our chicken done. It's got everything but the bagel seasoning on it. It was grilled something amount of minutes per side. The rice is in the rice cooker. Or that's not a rice cooker. It's in the Instapot. But it's got 2 more minutes left of slow release before I take it out. I'm going to go to beef and broccoli last because that one is my favorite. The salmon is done. I've got another tray of salmon plus all the carrots are done. My pasta for weeknight pasta is done. Honestly, that weeknight pasta recipe, I think you could make into anything. I don't think it has enough protein in that recipe because I personally like to have protein, like adding chicken, but I did lentils and I did chickpeas in this pasta. So right there, that is technically like 15 grams of protein per serving. So you could do that as long as you get your protein the rest of the day somewhere else. But with this, I actually changed my mind on the peppers. I have those chopped so that I'm going to saute them, mix them in with this. And also, let me see if I have it. 1 second. We're going to do weeknight pasta. In my version would be to throw Classico fettuccine Alfredo on it and chicken. My rest of my family's preference, actually, my son probably would do that because my kids, yes, they eat what we eat. I get that question a lot. Do they have chicken nuggets? Of course. But my son's preference would probably be the Alfredo sauce, and my daughter and my husband really like red pasta sauce. So I won't put the pasta sauce on it right now. I'm just going to put the peppers in a different dish. I'm going to put the pasta by itself. I'm going to put the chicken by itself, and then we'll go make a dish together, and I'll put Alfredo on it. They'll put red sauce on it. I have another video. Part 2 is going to be like, how do you actually build a plate out of everything that we meal prepped? Because right now my kitchen looks like a bomb went off on it, right? Like it all has to be put away somewhere nicely. But then once it's time to eat it, what do we do to make a plate out of everything? And the biggest question I get, especially on the beef and broccoli one that I'm going to show you right now, is like, I've got a big dish. How do I know exactly how much protein I should have out of that? Also, by the way, my sweet potatoes are still in the oven. Oh gosh, so messy. It's life. My sweet potatoes are in the oven. Those always I put in for an hour at 400. They're on 375 right now because the salmon and the carrots needed 375. So I'm going to bump it up. And that is, my sweet potatoes just always take extra time. I just pull them out and put them in the fridge afterwards. Beef and broccoli. I've got the ground beef in there. I pulled it to the side, chopped a bunch of veggies, put them in here. That is garlic was sauteed for like a minute. Then I put in chopped red onions, sauteed for another minute with the garlic. Then I put in the cabbage and the broccoli. Then I put in the carrots. I've been stirring it occasionally. What I'm going to do to make this the best Asian dish that you'll ever have, and I think it does closely align with the meal plan recipe, I am putting coconut aminos on here. Just going to drizzle coconut aminos all around it. You can do sesame seed oil like the recipe calls for. You can do actual sesame seeds. I think it calls for almond slivers also. I'm skipping that. I don't, that's not important to me. What I am going to do, the most important, I'm just stirring it while I'm talking to you. The most important part of this dish is coming up in 1 second. Let me get it. The most important part, I just had it. You have to put some sort of like sun butter, peanut butter, cashew butter. Honestly, my favorite is sun butter. I'm allergic to peanuts anyway, so I can't have them. But putting sun butter in your, anytime that you do, and spoon had garlic. 1 second. Anytime that you do an Asian dish, you have to put coconut aminos in it, and you have to put sun butter in it. So I'm probably going to do like 3 hefty spoonfuls of it, because when it's all like mixed in there, really there's barely any fat to count towards any macros. But like big scoops, like 3 of them, tossing it on there, and then let it kind of just mix in there. I might even do a 4th scoop. I actually don't have coconut aminos. I didn't get any. I thought I had some. So my husband is on a job. They're at the bike park. He and my kids are at the bike park right now. So they're going to all stop for some coconut aminos so that we can have our beef and broccoli dish, which is now beef, cabbage, carrot, onion, broccoli, sun butter, and it will have coconut aminos. So now that this is all cooked up, I need to throw the beef back in there, but there's barely any room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all of this. We'll just throw the coconut aminos on there later. It's real easy to just like cook it in per dish. But I'm going to close out the chapter of meal prep. Now that you know how I turn more complex meal plans into easier recipes. I'm going to tell you, like, I tried my best to shop off the recipe pack and to meal prep specifically off of the recipe pack so that I could show you how I would do it. I'm not perfect. I did not look at the recipes. I looked at them, and I've been cooking for so long that now I was like, what kind of makes sense to go together? I remember buying Kalamata. I remember buying olives for some reason, and I can't tell you why. I also remember buying cherry tomatoes. Can't tell you why. I also remember buying oranges, which, by the way, I got Sumo oranges because those are the absolute best. I got those for some reason. Can't tell you why. So everything else I used besides those 3 things, lemon juice and apple cider vinegar. So I also got those 2 things, which you can always use both of those. I don't know what I was supposed to do with any of them, but you can either go through all the rest, like no harm either way. Go through all the recipes one by one. You'll get faster. You'll start making things faster. You'll start prepping faster for an entire week. Or you can just say, I have a blueprint of what I want to do. This is my idea. I always get 3 pounds of protein of whatever I need for my husband, myself, and my kids for an entire week. My kids don't eat it all the time, but my husband and I definitely. All 3 meals, I get 3 pounds of whatever protein it is. So I got 3 pounds of ground beef, even though I think it called for 2. I got 4 pounds of salmon, actually. I got almost 4 pounds of chicken. So I get at least 3 pounds of everything. And I bulk prep all 3 of those proteins. So the goal is 3 proteins, then 3 carbs. So I got a big bag of sweet potatoes. I got a big bag of jasmine rice. And my 3rd protein was the chickpea / lentil pasta. Those are my 3 carbs. So 3. And then you could even go as far as to say 3 different types of veggie groups. So like bagged salads. This is one. The beef and broccoli veggie mix. And then my other one would be, to be honest, I'm over the 38-minute time frame. I was talking to you guys, Broncos games, all the excuses. Third veggie group is going to be, now that I see all these things that I was like, what was I supposed to do with these? I'm going to dice these up, little tiny dicing things, put them in a pan. So first spray the pan. I'll probably toss some garlic in there also because I'm obsessed. Pretentious comma garlicky. Anyway, Friends reference. I'm going to dice these up after I put in the garlic for a minute, put these in. Then I'm going to put in the olives with that. And I'm going to put in the cherry tomatoes with that. I'm going to dice those up and put them. I don't know if you've ever sauteed cherry tomatoes, but they're like a little hot bomb in your mouth. It's so good. I'm going to do all of that as like a, okay, it's Greek. So like a Greek flavor with the chickpea pasta. So this is all Greekish going to go on that. I'm sure that there was a better, different plan, but this is my easy, I don't have time plan to look at recipes. I don't have time to look at recipes plan. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that all together in the pasta. You will see in part 2 after this how everything came together in what I prep it, like how I store it. And we'll talk about how to make a plate. So I'm going to pause this video here or stop it. You'll come back for part 2.